This is a weird video, and let me see, how do I start it? I'm 59 years old, almost 60 next month. I'm getting ready to have a shunt put in. I'm kind of nervous about that. I had thyroid cancer almost 6 years ago. I have no gallbladder, no spleen, and the medicine they're giving me to bring the cranial pressure down in my head, I have something called IIH, is causing some stomach issues and stuff. So I go Thursday to see about the shunt placement, and I believe I'm gonna go forward with that surgery. So while I was sitting there thinking about them playing with my brain and the things that I wanted to get straight, I did some time thinking. All you people out there hating your parents, why? What did your parents do? My first memory of my mother was when I was almost 5 years old and she was trying to kill herself, to commit suicide. I found her in a chair and she was almost dead. I sent my brother down to get my aunt, and we saved her life that day. But then I've always watched out for my mother. My mother is 80, almost 80 years old, and for the last 17 years I've been providing a home for her to live in, and I'm paying more than half her bills so that she can have a little money left over with her Social Security. We grew up very poor. We grew up, her brothers were thieves, criminals. So we grew up very poor, and we grew up shit of the town. So my mom had a lot of nervous problems, had a lot of nervous spasms and things like that. I was molested at a very young age by a family member, and I kept that to myself because I knew my mother couldn't handle it. When I became a teenager, I became very resentful and very wild, and ended up getting in trouble and sent to my father, whom I did not know. I mean, yeah, my father came, for his weekly visitations, but it was only 3 of them, I can think, growing up, 3 weekly visitations. One was for Easter, and that was at a playground. He took us to Easter at a playground, and that was to introduce us to his new wife. The next time he came and got us was on when they had a daughter, so when my stepsister was born. And then we didn't see him again until they had a son, when my stepbrother was born. Then us kids got picked up and included in the group. So, and then I remember one other Christmas, and all of us girls got given the same gift, and all the boys got given the same gift, same outfit and stuff. It was just creepy and cringy. Our stepmother hated us. We had a stepfather, and he was creepy. He was always grabbing the boobs and trying to grope, and he was a pedophile. And I told my mother about it, but she told me I was lying, and that I was just trying to break him up. So anyways, I got sent to Germany when I was 17 to live with my father. Didn't know him. Stepmother hated me. So I decided I need to get out of my father's house. And I schemed to get pregnant just to escape my father's house. And I ended up married to a man that almost killed me. So here's what I'm saying. I love my mother, and I forgive her. She was 18 years old when she met my father. Well, she knew my father her whole life, but she was 18 when she married him. She was 19 when she had me. They got married because he was going to the Vietnam War. She was one of 8 children, and they grew up very poor. At one point, they lived in a chicken coop that they made over into a house. So, I mean, very, very poor in rural Vermont. That's a hard one. Those winters are rough. When I sit back and I look at the family, and I look at, here she is, 19. She's got a little girl, and her husband's gone. So he comes back 2 years later and gets her pregnant again. And he, because of, now I have to look at my father's side, which is really hard for me to do, because for the longest time I've held such hard feelings for my father. I have to look at my father's side. My father is 19. He just got sent to a place. He's been living 2 years in a place where he knows no one except the GI friends. And he sees death around him every freaking day. And he doesn't know that if he's going to make back. He's got a wife and a daughter. He doesn't know if he's going to make it back. He gets back. And, of course, he becomes an alcoholic and starts to be abusive to my mother. And that's what's caused the split. And it's just, you know, my family is just bizarre. But I didn't really know my father's family growing up. You know, but I can understand my father wanting to get out and live and, you know, being young like that, being 19, you know. But he should have stopped having kids. If he wanted to be young and have fun, he should have stopped having kids. He should have told my mother, look, I need a break. I need out. I can't. Or he should have gone into counseling, but he didn't either. So that's, you know, that's neither here nor there, but I understand. I understand. My father and I have not talked for a long time. And the reason being is, as a stepchild, especially of a first family, I'm the oldest of 6. 4 natural, 2 step. I'm the oldest of 6. And I was daddy's girl. I had him to myself for a year before my brother came. And I was a daddy's girl. I thought my dad hung the star and moons. But then he became distant. And then he, you know, once he started having kids of his own, we became like something that was, oh, well, I'm going to this family event. Or I've got a new baby, let's go grab the kids. Oh, I got this. I'm going to take all these, I'm taking my new baby to meet family members, but I'll go pick up my kids and take the kids to meet the new baby and take them with me to see the family. You know, that type of stuff. So just really bizarre. But I was glad that I did get to know my grandfather on that side. So my dad and I don't really talk. You know, I did spend time with him in Germany, and I had a good time with him, and I, you know, he's a good man, he really is. But we just, I can't get past the fact that when we would go visit him as his natural children, we'd be there maybe 10 minutes, and then he'd be calling everybody, his sister's kids, and, you know, right now he's raising his brother's children. He married his brother's ex-wife and is raising his brother's children. You know, and I just can't. You know, you put everybody before us and you forget about us, and now you get to the end of your life and you want us back in your life, and it's hard. It's hard because I do love my father. I forgive him. But I wish he'd seen that we needed him too. We needed him to be there too. We needed him to think, okay, I'm doing all this with this family that I live with. Maybe this weekend I spend just with my kids. Or maybe I spend just one day with my kids and then I spend the next day with all of them. So that we felt special, that we felt included. Sorry, I'm getting ready to cry and I hardly ever cry. So I forgive my father. And I sent him a very special Christmas present. And to show him that I forgive him. Along with a note through his sister telling him that I loved him. And that I forgive about him, and that I care about him, and I wish him no ill will, and that I hope he goes into the other life peacefully. But for all of our sakes, we just need to remain no contact. Because it just hurts me too much, and I know he wants us there now, but he didn't want us there then. And it's really hard for us to be there now, because we know if we go there, we're just going to be surrounded by all the other kids. We're not going to get that last quality time with our dad, even though he wants it and we would love to have it. We're not going to get it. So, I bought him a really special Catholic Bible as a last gift, because I know he's not going to be around next year. So forgive your parents. If nothing else, remember they were young. Look at the circumstances and think about it, and think about how you were at that age, if you can. And if you can't, go talk to somebody in that family. Go talk to somebody that knows the parent that's not there. And have them tell you about your parent that you don't know. Because you can learn a lot that way. Now, my mother, she was rough growing up. She was brutal. She used to call me all kinds of foul things. And I would babysit, do paper routes, whatever, give her money. I still give her money. Because that's what, you know. But I forgive my mom too. Because my mom, she stayed. No matter how hard it got, she stayed. Even though we got to a point where she couldn't handle us anymore, she still stayed and tried. And my mom's not, now that I'm older, I realize that my mom is not quite, how do you want to say it? She's not quite as intelligent as I am, and I'm not really that intelligent. So, she's very simple and very sweet, but she has an evil, nasty side to her. And the things that she used to let our stepfather do to us for punishment was beyond compare. Gypsy Rose thinks she had punishment. Our stepfather used to make us kneel on metal grates with our hands up against above our heads. If we touched the wall, we'd have to start all over again. We'd have to do it for like an hour, and it was hard. We'd always end up having to do more or change to a different punishment. But she did. She didn't know what she was doing, and she did the best she could. So, and I thank God, I forgive her. I forgive her for all of that. You know, I just thank her for sticking in there and learning. Now, my mom and I are good friends. We talk, and I teach her things, and she shows me things, and so it's good. So you got to learn to forgive. And if you don't understand why your parents have done something, ask them. Or if you don't understand your parents, go talk to their family and see what they were like when they were a kid. Maybe you can get some insight that can help you save your relationship. Don't kill your parents. There's nothing that your parents can do to you that's so terrible that you need to kill them. They're going to die sooner or later. They don't need your help. Gypsy's mother was so sick. I think that's the only reason Gypsy killed her, is because she was so sick that she was going to die on her own. And if she died on her own, how was Gypsy going to get out of her the scheme and lie that she had been telling? You know, here's Gypsy left in the house with her dead mother and can't run out in a wheelchair or anything, you know. What you gonna do? So by killing her mother, she was, you know, Dee Dee was dying already. She didn't do her a favor. She just did what she needed to do to try to get out of the lie. There really is nothing anybody in this life that can do to you except for maybe murder one of your children that is so egregious that you have to take their lives. And believe it or not, some of the most egregious things done to you are by your family. So, keep an open heart. Keep an open mind. And remember, God will never give you more than you can handle. Even though sometimes it'll feel like life is going to break you to nothing. And it will at times. It'll drag you down to your knees. And when you're at your lowest, that's when you need to just dig in and dig harder. And trust me, I've been through some shit. Some crazy shit. Some medical shit, you know. Like I said, I had cancer almost 6 years ago, and now I'm getting ready to have a hole put into my brain. So, anyways, have a good day.